Hi boys and girls. So today we're going to start talking about word problems. And word problems, I know that some of you sometimes when you see a word problem you get a little worried and like, what am I supposed to do first? And it starts to make you worry a little bit. So what we're going to do today is teach you a way to solve word problems to make yourselves not worry about them anymore. So when we solve word problems, there are some steps we can take to make it easier for you. Okay, so we're going to go through a few problems today, and these are the steps we're going to take. We're going to read the problem first. Obviously, we have to know what it says. We're going to read the problem. We're going to underline the question that it's asking us so that we know what we're looking for. And then we're going to write a sentence frame that will help us frame out how our answer will be written. We're going to circle the important information that we find in that word problem, and then we're going to draw a picture to help us solve the word problem. So let's try one. So these are going to be really simple word problems, but this is going to help you a lot later on. So this one says, Mary has 7 shells and Lucy has 5. How many shells do they have altogether? So I've done the first step to our problem, to our steps, which is to read the problem. So the next one is I'm going to underline the question. Well, the question here is, how many shells do they have all together? That's our question. I've underlined it. Now I'm going to use my question for step number 3, which is write a sentence frame. So I'll say, they have blank shells. So after I figure this out, I know I can go back and insert my answer in here to help me make sure that I've answered what the question is asking me. So I took the question and kind of made it as a statement. How many shells do they have altogether? They have blank shells. All right, so I've written my sentence frame. Now I need to circle my important information that I see in here. That way I can really pick out what's important in my word problem. Then it doesn't look like as much to me. So the first important thing, let's read it. It says, Mary has 7 shells and Lucy has 5. How many shells do they have altogether? Well, one important piece of information is that Mary has 7 shells. That's important for us to know. And it's also important for us to know that Lucy has 5. So those are very important things for us to know. Other than that, the only thing we have in here is our question, which we've already underlined. So now we have circled our important information. The last thing we are going to do is we are going to draw a picture to help us solve this problem. Now, when I say a picture, I don't mean I want you drawing pictures of shells or whatever the problem is talking about. When I say a picture, we're going to basically draw a picture of the information that was given to us. So it says Mary has 7 shells. So I'm going to write this in a different color. So I'm going to write an M for Mary, and I'm going to write an L for Lucy. And if you want to write them all out, that's fine. You can do that as well. So I'm going to draw a line here. So Mary, I know, has 7 shells. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 7 boxes to represent those 7 shells that Mary has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how many Mary has. So I've used this piece of information in my drawing so far, so I can check it off. My other piece of information was that Lucy has 5 shells. So Lucy, which is what this L is for, has 5. So beside her name, I'm going to draw 5 boxes. 4, 5. Now, I've got my picture drawn, and this really helps me to see what the problem is telling me. So I have it drawn, and now I'm going to say, it equals something. It equals how many they have all together. So in order to show myself that I need to see what all of these are all together, I'm going to circle all of them. And that just lets me know that, hey, all of these need to be put together so that I can figure out how many they have all together. So I know I'm doing, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that Mary has. And this Lucy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know if I'm putting them all together, I know I'm joining them together. And so now I found my equation or my process that I need to do. I know I need to add together both of the numbers that represent how many shells they have. So 7 plus 5. So we'll say equal sign. Whoop. So we have 7 plus 5 here. So then all we have to do is add 7 plus 5 to get our final answer. So 7 plus 5, if we count, we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can count up, or if you just know that 7 plus 5 is 12, you can write that in. All right, so I'm going to circle my final answer. But the last part that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my final answer and put it back up here into my sentence frame. So they have 12 shells. So now I know I've answered my question, all my problem is solved, and I've gone through all of the steps to solving a problem. So you'll notice this was an addition problem. Let's do one more together to show you this process. All right. In this question, it says, Steve had 12 pens, and then he gave Matt 3 of them. How many pens does Steve have left? All right. I've read my problem. Let's underline the question in that problem. Let's see. It says, how many pens does Steve have left? So I've underlined my question. Now I'm really understanding. I'm trying to figure out how many Steve has now. So when I write a sentence frame, I can take this question. How many pens does Steve have left? Steve has blank pens left. So after I'm done, I can come back and fill my answer in. So I've written my sentence frame. Really, boys and girls, this is a very quick way to do this. You see, we've already gotten 3 out of the 5 steps done. We're doing an awesome job. So my next one is to circle that important information. All right, so if we go back to it, we have our question underlined, so let's look at our important information. It says Steve had 12 pens. Well, that gives me a number, so that's probably a good thing to know. Steve had 12 pens. Is there any other important information? I'd say so. And then he gave Matt 3 of them. Ooh, he gave Matt 3 of them. That's an important piece of information. So the only other thing left in there is our question. So I know I found all my important information. All right, guys, my last step is to draw a picture to help me solve. All right, I'm going to draw a picture. So what am I thinking here? I know Steve, and there's Steve and Matt. So I'm going to draw their lines. All right. It might even be helpful, and we didn't do this on the last one, but it might be helpful if you want to draw a line to separate the pictures so you don't confuse them. That'd be fine to do too. So Steve had 12 pens. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Steve has 12 pens. I showed you that by drawing 12 boxes to represent his 12 pens. Now, it says he gave Matt 3 of them. So notice it doesn't tell us that Matt had any on his own. It said that Steve gave Matt 3. So what that really tells me is I need to take 3 of Steve's away and give them to Matt. So I'm going to use a different color to show this. All right, so he took 3 away from Steve. So we're going to circle this one, and we're going to move it down to Matt's. And then we can cross it out on his. Then he took this one. That's 2. So then Steve doesn't have that one anymore. And then this third one and gave it to Matt. So that's 3. So then Steve doesn't have that one anymore. And we'll cross this out in a different color too. So now Steve doesn't have those 3 pens anymore. Matt has them. So we've got this information, but what does this really show us, right? We want to see what it really shows us. So remember my question said, how many pens does Steve have left? Well, if I know Steve gave Matt 3 of them, I had to mark 3 of Steve's out. So that shows me what he still has after he gave Matt some of his pens. So all I have to do is say, oh, well, how many are left after he gave Matt some? So let's count them. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Steve has 9 left. And we can even double check, right? When we gave Steve 3 of them, took 3 from Steve and gave them to Matt, we brought 3 down here. We can double check. He gave 3 of them to Matt. Matt has 3. That's how many he should have. So we'll know what we really did is we took this 12 here that Steve had. We took his 12, and we literally took 3 of them away from him and gave them to Steve. So we took 3 away. He subtracted them from his. He took 3. So what we did is we took 12 and took away 3 from it, which is what gave us what was left, which was our 9. So now I can take this 9 and circle my final answer, and I can say Steve has 9 pens left. And now I can say that I have drawn the picture to help me solve, and my problem is done. So boys and girls, I hope this helped you today, and this is the way that we are going to be working on word problems this year. So we're going to follow these steps each day. Even when our word problems get harder, we're still going to use these steps to solve our problems. That way we have a set thing that we can use each time we're working on word problems and be able to figure our word problems out easily. I hope this made sense, and good luck on the assignment today.